Want to steal clicks away from your competitors on Amazon? Don't start your split testing on Amazon experiments. Do this instead.
Here is PickFu's new Amazon Mockup generator tool. The idea is that you can test your new main images against your original ones to make sure that they're better, or you can test against your competitors. The first thing we're going to do is search for our product using some of the main keywords related to our product to see who are the natural competitors showing up in search, right? And so if I wanted to test this against my actual listing, what I'm going to do is grab some of the competitors' listings. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this one here. I'm just going to open up in a new tab, this one here. And the reason why I'm selecting these is because they're really very similar in price point. I know that this is actually a big puzzle maker who has a lower price point. It's going to be really hard to compete with them. I'm not going to select this one because it's not a street art puzzle specifically. I don't want to pick this one because it has two puzzles, which is very different from my single puzzle. Here is one that actually has an interesting piece of art here. And let's do this one. Then we have our puzzle right here. And again, the reason why I'm choosing these specific puzzles is they're very relevant to our puzzle. They are featuring street art just like our puzzle, and they are in a very similar price point to our puzzle. I'm going to click into each one of these and grab those ASINs, copy this one, come over to the mockup generator, paste it in. I'm going to select this one here, last one here. I'm going to go ahead and import these. You don't want to have too many variables going on with the split test. You want to be testing, is my image more likely to get clicks than the competitors, right? So that's what we're testing for. The first test I would do. This test with these three competitors, making sure that the price point is all the same and the ratings and reviews are all the same, because if one has 1,000 reviews and one is $10 cheaper, of course, that one is going to get more clicks, right? That's why PickFu has this handy dandy tool down here. So I'm going to make the price $24.99 across all of them. I'm going to make the reviews 100, and I'm going to put 4.5 stars on all of them, and I'm going to update them. So now they are all unified. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to import into the poll builder. I'm going to do build from scratch, and I'm going to keep this question. If you were shopping on Amazon, which product would you click on? I'm going to go to the next step, and I'm going to keep all of these. I'm going to, between the options of ranked versus head-to-head, I'm going to use a ranked poll so that I'm asking shoppers to click on which one they would click on first, second, and third. I'm going to keep a general audience because I'm not sure that there is a data set that PickFu has that is focused just on puzzlers. But let's say if I had a beauty product, I might choose people that love beauty products because I know that that is absolutely one of the targeting options that PickFu gives us. So it really depends on your product. And I'm only going to use 50, and that's a good enough set for this poll. And you can also select all of these other behavioral habits. In this case, I don't need that data. Now I'm going to confirm my poll. The other thing I would do with this is test the same set of competitors with the original hero image that was used on the product listing versus the after image. So I'm actually going to come back to this original page that did not close. It's still an open tab. And I'm actually going to edit this exact same test so I don't have to do anything else. I am going to change this photo here. So I'm going to click on the pencil. I am uploading the puzzle image, just the puzzle image, no box, no puzzle pieces, and with the same exact fields unified at the bottom. And I'm going to go ahead and import this as another poll. I decided rather than just doing the art, because what I don't like about just the art is that you're wasting a lot of space at the top and the bottom that we could be utilizing to put something else in there, right? So now you can see that instead of just showing the art, which these ones have, I'm also showing a close-up of the puzzle pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to run a test on this one. And now just for fun, I'm going to come back once again. And I decided that I want to show the box because my box is a little different from a normal puzzle box. So I'm going to go ahead and add this image and run a test on this one and see if this one actually gets more clicks than the previous other tests. All right, so let's take a look at these results. Now, remember, I ran 4 polls and all of them were pretty much finished in less than 30 minutes. So that's amazing. We have all this data from 200 shoppers who told me which Amazon product they would click on if they saw these in the search results. These look really similar to search results. I love how they're displaying. The one best practice that I didn't follow is if you're using this question, if you were shopping on Amazon, which product would you click on? Instead of using the word product, I would swap it out with whatever your product is. So you can just make it very clear. The person doesn't have to think about it. They just tell you which one they would click on. This is one of the tests. If I was uploading the main image that just had the artwork of the puzzle, which one would people pick? And this is really going to be based on people's preferences in terms of art. So when I read the comments, I saw that a lot of people hated this one because they felt it was a little bit crude, looking at babies' butts and then peeing. This one was a fan favorite, obviously, because a lot of people know Bob Marley. It's like a lovable image. So obviously that data is a little bit skewed. People love this one. They hate this one. So really, this is my number one competitor against my product here on the right. Now, what's interesting here is I am just doing what everyone else is doing. I am just showing art. And so if I'm gauging myself against something that I can't compete with, like this art from Bob Marley, or, this one, obviously people like my art over this one. So that's not really something I'm truly competing with now. But what I am looking at is this one here, which does look very similar to mine. And so I really want to make sure that I stand out from this. How do I stand out is the question. Well, right now I am not scoring as high as I want to against my main competitor in this set, right? And so the way that PickFu does these polls, just to break this down, if it's not sure which one is the clear winner at 50% or above, then it will remove the one with the lowest vote. So it would technically remove this one and keep running against this one and these two, right? To let us know which one is scored the highest. The other thing I'm looking at with this test is how many people voted for mine as the number one option. I'm looking at these as clicks, and I'm looking at the PickFu score as an overall score through different rounds of testing. And so I'm looking at both numbers. So if I go to the next poll, my original image here was this option with the box open. Now, what I was curious about is like the box is open, but it's actually covering a lot of the art. And so you'll see here that this one that I truly find to be my competitor, this is actually winning when I use this type of setup, right? And I thought this would grab attention and would score higher. Now, if I look at the score, it's a 30 versus 62. So based on multiple rounds of testing, so you can see here, this is how the testing went. Round 1, they couldn't find a clear winner. Round 2, 8 of the votes were reassigned. And round 3, they found a clear winner to be this one here, okay? So I still have some work to do. So let's look at the next test. Now, this is if I was just using puzzle pieces to stand out. Now, all of a sudden, it gets interesting, right? My score is definitely higher than this competitor here. I have 15 clicks versus 10 clicks on this one. So I'm definitely starting to steal clicks away from the competition. So that's the way that I view this, right? I'm improving by just putting the puzzle pieces. Now let's look at the fourth test, right? The fourth test is like, okay, let's put the box back in, but let's put it in a different way. So here is that test with the box put in a different way. And now here we go. Now my score is 54 and this score is 24. And I even beat the Bob Marley one. And I got 15 clicks when this one only got 10. So now I'm really, really excited about this result. So at this point, what I would do is run an Amazon experiment against this image versus this image here. And I would let Amazon tell me in 4 to 10 weeks which one they think is the clear winner based on true Amazon data. And then they're going to give me actual revenue forecasting to tell me how much more money I will make with one image versus the other. So that is how I would do this competitor test. I would stick to very, very relevant products. I would make sure you unify the data. So you're only testing for 1 or 2 variables. We're testing the main image and the title across 3 other competitors that are showing up at the top of page near your actual product to see if what you're doing with your main image is really working. Take care.